Hello, so today we're going to do the Ayyubid's House of Wisdom kind of intro or breakdown as far as what I found in the meta so far and what I found to be useful at different stages in the game. Okay, so we're going to get this house built up. So you have 8 options. So unlike Abyssid, where you have the 4 wings and then you have additional option in each wing, you actually have 2 options in each wing every age. So that means that you cannot get both of them. You can only get one or the other for the age up. And the other unique thing is that these bonuses are not static. They do scale with age, and we're going to have a look at that in a second. But let's just go through all of them. So we have the economic wing. So all the wings, they're still the same names. So you have economic wing, military wing, culture wing, and trade wing. Right? The economic wing has 2 options. So they all have 2 options. So the first is growth. And this is where you get 3 villagers and orchards, which are the berry bushes, gain an extra 50 food per one. So per group of 7, you're getting an extra 350 food, which is very good. It means they last longer, but it does mean that if you do decide to go with growth to start with, you should probably start on sheep and then move to berries after you get it. The next one is industry. So this is where you get 300 wood right away, and we'll talk about kind of all the situations where you would go, the different options. You have military wing reinforcement. So what this gives you is it gives you the ability for cavalry units to build siege in the field. So as you're aware, Abyssid, they can build siege in the field automatically with their infantry. So you have the same ability here with your cavalry, which allows you to play a heavy cavalry feudal if you like, and you can build rams from them, so you don't need to build infantry to build rams in the feudal age. And then in castle, you can build mangonels, rams, springles with your cavalry, which is great because you will generally have a mix of infantry and cavalry, and if they can both be making siege, that only improves how fast you get siege onto the field. The next one is Mastersmiths. So this is where all the upgrades in the blacksmith are automatically researched for free. However, it does not it's not age dependent. So if you use this upgrade and you're going to Imperial, but you've got none of your blacksmiths upgrades to that point, you will only get the tier 1 blacksmith set if you choose that. So this is very situational. The next is advancement. So this is where you go to the next age. So it's only one time. You go to the next age, whether you choose to use it to go to feudal or castle or imp. You get it at 40% less time and less resources. So depending on which age that you're going up at, you're going to get 250 less resources, 500 less resources, and I'm not exactly sure for Imperial. I think it's 800 less resources, but it all scales up. Okay. Logistics is where you get immediately, 2 monks in this case. So Dervish is the unique mounted monk. So it's more similar to the Rus warrior monk than any other monk in the game, and also improves their healing. So can also be good, if you build some lancers and you're raiding with the lancers, you can get them and then you can bring the lancers back to your base after taking damage, heal them up, and then go again. Similar to French knights, but you do have to bring them back or bring these dervishes to heal your knights when you're raiding, or heal your camel raiders or knights, I guess, in castle if you're doing this in castle. The next 2, Trade Wing Bazaar. So every 3 minutes you get a trade caravan, which allows you to get 4 out of 6 options. And we're going to go with this first. And Trade Wing, and the last one being Trade Wing Advisors, where you get 2 Ayyubids, which can be put in any building and any military building, and then all the units produced from that building will have 20% extra HP. So it's similar to I guess boot camp from military wing from the Abyssid, but it's 5 extra percent, and it's only specific to the buildings that you put them in. If those buildings get sieged down and die, then you lose that ability. So you definitely want to be careful on the buildings that you put them in. Generally, you're going to be putting them in stables where units take longer to train, and siege. Actually, I'm not sure if they work in siege workshops, but siege workshops would be a good place to put them in. Now, what to go first into feudal? Okay, so your options are the one that we just went, which is Bazaar. And I'm going to show you that in a second once that's finished aging up. Another one is growth. Growth is pretty good. You get 3 instant villagers. Typically, I've seen growth being used when people are trying to go fast castle, and this is usually the one to go because you get safer food in your base. And then industry, where it gives you 300 wood. This is where you could have a very fast 2TC play. You could pretty much mine stone on your way to feudal. Mine an extra 100 wood or chop an extra 100 wood, and then get your second TC pretty much right away. Another one you could go is reinforcement. Not as great. It only gives you 1 every 2 minutes. And then advancement. It can be used if you're playing a water map and you want to get to feudal quickly, so you can get your military ships out to stop their fishing faster. So those would be the main ones that I go, along with the Bazaar here. So as we can see, Bazaar, you get a number of options, right? There are 7 options in total, and you get 4 traders at the front. So these 4 traders represent your tickets, and when you use a ticket, for example, let's say I get villagers, they pop out instantly. One of these tickets goes away, and I get 2 instant villagers for 125 resources. Now in Castle, this gets more expensive, and Imp, it gets even more expensive, but you get more villagers. So I think in Castle, you get 4 villagers for 250 gold, and so on and so forth, and it's going to work the same thing with traders, and the 2 unique units that Ayyubids get, which is the Bedouin Swordsman and the Bedouin Skirmisher. Okay, generally will be good against infantry units. The skirmishers are really good for harassing early. So if you don't get the tickets in villagers, which is obviously the most ideal, if you get them in one of these, you can actually select this and get some units out very quickly and across the map to try to harass your opponent. If you get resources like this, just make sure to use it to balance your economy. You could be heavy on gold and then just buy whatever you need. As you can see, they are very favorable exchanges. You get 200 food for 125 gold, and that works the same for wood. Stone, you get a little bit less because, of course, stone is slightly more important. So there's a fast 2TC play that you can use with this as well, but you do have to mine gold for it. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. Okay. So the next castle, this is where I think right now Ayyubids are most flexible with what wing you go, right? You could go advancement for a fast castle. This can be used in situations where if you feel like you're a little bit behind and your opponent goes to castle, and let's say they're burger rushing you as HRE or Order of the Dragon, and you need to get to castle quickly so you can get access to those crossbows. Advancement can be great because you're going to get to castle not only cheaper, like the Abbasid culture wing, but you're also getting there faster, which is the kind of better portion of this technology. Another option which I've seen some players do to great effect is if you are in control of the game, you can go with logistics. So what this does is you get 3 dervishes, and what you do is you age up. These 3 dervishes immediately pop out, and then you grab the relics, right? So in this case, obviously, we can pretend this TC is not there, but I would send 1 to grab their relic, and then 1 to grab this one, and then this one, and then you would bring them back, deposit them, grab the other 2, and then you could start grabbing sacred sites. Okay, and it's just a lot of passive gold, right? The relics 80 gold each, sacred sites 100 gold each. So if you manage to get all 5 relics, that's 400 gold per minute passive, and let's say you get 2 sacred sites, that's now 600 gold per minute passive that you're getting. Not to mention if you get all 3, that's 700 gold passive. And I'm going to show you a game later where I managed to do this, and it is very, very strong. So that's really good. I've also played around with going military wing reinforcement. This is good because you get 3 raiders every 2 minutes, so that's 540 resources. 1 desert raider is 80 food, 50 wood, 50 gold, so you're getting 180 times 3, which is 540 resources for free every 2 minutes for the rest of the game, right? In Imperial, this can go to 7, or this goes to 7. But I generally like to get this, and this is the one that we're actually gonna age up with, and I'll talk about the other one and after we finish the age up. And so yeah, you get 3 desert raiders. Desert raiders are the unique unit. They can be melee or range form, and you get them for free every 2 minutes. And I find that they really help to bolster my army. As you can see, the tickets don't go away, so you should still use the tickets, although just keep in mind that you can't use the tickets because they still need to quote-unquote build. So if you're planning to use some tickets or you have some extra gold before you age up, make sure you use the tickets first, right? So in this case, I should have hired a villager first and then done the age up, because now if I click this to hire the villager, it's going to be queued up behind the age up. So even though it's quote-unquote instant, it still has a build time of 1 second. So that's just something to be wary of. In terms of visuals, right, if you're playing against Ayyubids, the visuals are all the same as Abbasid. So this is the military wing here, this is the trade wing here, and then you'll have the culture wing, the spire, I think it's over here, and then the eco wing over here. Okay, so you can always tell what your opponent is going. Of course, you don't know which one they chose, but it's going to be pretty evident with most of these, right? If 3 extra villagers pop out when he ages up, he went growth. If they don't, then he went industry. Yeah. So the only one that I haven't gotten yet is Master Smiths. I just find that this is just not as useful. Relative to how strong the other ones are, right? So it's giving you the least value because you're generally getting your blacksmith upgrades kind of passively anyway, or at least you should be. So getting a full set for free instantly is great, but the only way that I could see it working is if you amassed a huge feudal army, you got all the feudal upgrades, you're playing an extended feudal game, you age up with that, and instantly your huge army gets +2 attack and armor for everything. So it could be like a good little power boost right away, but it's something that you would have to take advantage of, or you're gonna lose value over time because eventually your opponent will catch up with those upgrades. Whereas most of these other things, it's either really good on timing, or it's giving you value for the long term, right? So we're going to see in a sec. Well, actually, they're not going to pop out because I don't have houses, so we're going to build a house. But we're going to see in a second that 3 desert raiders will pop out for free every 2 minutes, and we can see they just popped in. Okay. Now, so for Imp, there are a bunch, or there are some that you could go. With the remaining ones, you're pretty much deciding between growth and advancement. I'm going to usually go advancement because I'm going to save growth till the end, right? If you save advancement till the end, you're not aging up past age 4. So unless you get the dervishes, but when it gets to super late game, they're maybe not as important because all the relics would have been taken off the map already. So I get advancement, and we can just see how fast this ages up, right? Compared to where I get 10 villagers and they all work 10% faster. If I get advancement, it'll age up, and then we'll see. I believe I don't know if these change in terms of the bonuses that they give, but we're about to find out. So normally the age up timing is 1 minute and 45 seconds, and here you can see it's 1 minute and 3 seconds. So really strong. And this is the order that I generally look to go in. Again, I feel like with Feudal, the Bazaar, or what people referred to as the casino, is the most popular, but growth is definitely very viable. I haven't played around with industry too much as far as getting a fast second DC, but I will try that more. And I feel like the Desert Raider one is not of great value in Feudal, going to Feudal anyways. So it's pretty much between you're generally going to go to Bazaar. The Ayyubids are actually really good later on in the game because your army is just that much stronger, but you're almost always going to go Bazaar at some point before that, so you're never generally going to get that either. And so here the bonus for growth doesn't change, but you'll notice that for industry it does. If we go to H5 for quote-unquote Ayyubids, then you're going to get 2,800 wood, not 2,500, but you're still going to get 10 villagers and 10% work rate. So usually for H5 you would get either this or this, either depending whether you're villager capped or not, right? You know, generally speaking, more villagers is never a bad thing, and the 10% work rate is great, but if you're already at, you know, max eco of 120, 130, 140 villagers, you may just want the extra wood, and that wood can be used to pump out siege like crazy. And, you know, you can still get villagers here with your tickets. Okay, so this is the breakdown into all the ages and what I've seen personally on ladder, and what I've played with and what I've tried and what I've liked. If you have any, you know, different experiences, please feel free to comment. I'm always open to learning. We're all still learning these new civs. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next one.